53 and tied 7 there.
And welcome back to the NHL on Fox. And as you know, we've been off the past 6 weeks. An awful lot has taken place. So we thought we'd get you caught up on what our producer Scott Ackerson likes to call our choice cuts.
This is a terrific day for the St. Louis Blues. Wayne Gretzky is coming to Blues country.
Wayne is Gretzky. He scores! Number 830 of his career, #1 with the St. Louis Blues. 72 years and millions of memories later. So long. First he scores. Vincent D'Anfos scores the first goal ever in the Molson Center.
Drop it up to Lemieux.
Hey! And it's 50.
Yager's right in and scores. Yager picks up 5-0.
Osgood handles, looks to clear it himself. He does. Going for the empty goal.
It's good.
Osgood scores!
Francis on. He gets a pass from Lemieux. Looking for Lemieux in front. Lemieux shoots. He scores! Mario Lemieux has his 5th of the game. Oh, baby!
It's the corner to Guerin. Save! Travelov.
Holtz.
Warning. Centers for Tim Sweeney. What a save by Richter.
Oh, baby.
Simon in front to Keane. Flaherty's there. And he stops it on the goal line. In front of Ozovich. Unbelievable save again by Vernon. Nice goal. Presley shoots. He scores. Wasn't that a pretty thing?
Leach with a great play. Leach hustles for the puck. Races in. Leach scores! Oh, baby.
My word. What's going on?
Somehow Lemieux put that puck in.
And we'd like to offer our congratulations to the University of Michigan, which won the NCAA Hockey Championship this weekend, and to the University of Minnesota's Brian Bonin, who won the Hobie Baker Award. That's college hockey's equivalent to the Heisman Trophy. As you know, we're on just once a week, but there's plenty of hockey on ESPN. Tuesday night, the race for playoff positions continues this week as Mark Messier and the New York Rangers play host to Martin Brodeur and the New Jersey Devils, that in the battle of the last 2 Stanley Cup champions. Then on Wednesday night on the Deuce, 5-time Norris Trophy winner Ray Bourque leads the Bruins into the new Molson Center to take on Saku Koivu, Pierre Turgeon, and the Montreal Canadiens. That's Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN2. And the NHL on Fox continues after this.
At Michelin, we believe a tire that's just good in the rain isn't good enough. Introducing the Michelin X1 with a 6-year unlimited mileage tread life warranty. It's the one tire that gives you better wet traction than any rain tire, plus control in any driving condition. After all, it hasn't rained that much in years. The Michelin X1.
Send your package in 2 days with FedEx, and people are impressed. Cost, about $12.
Send your package in 2 days with UPS, and people are impressed. Cost, about $6.
Send your package in 2 to 3 days with priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service, and people are impressed. Cost exactly $3.
So, 12, 6, 3, what's your priority? Priority mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Corrosion. It can attack your engine from the inside, bringing it to a grinding halt. Fortunately, there's Quaker State Motor Oil, proven to exceed the highest standards car makers have established for protection against corrosion. Quaker State. What's the state of your motor oil? Quaker State exceeds the highest standards for engine protection.
Hey, hockey fans, there's a new official in the NHL, one that's making a big hit. Bud Ice and Bud Ice Light, the official beer sponsors of the NHL. Goes down easy and icy smooth. Bud Ice and Bud Ice Light, an official you'll like.
Big jobs need big muscle, we thought. So we built an engine with the power of 10 cylinders. A V6 should have V8 power, we thought. So we designed a multi-valve V6. A car should be as quick as it looks, we thought. So we built an engine that pounds out 450 horsepower. In fact, we spent so much time thinking about engines, you can almost hear the wheels turning. The new Dodge.
We'll return to the Nassau Coliseum for the start of the third period right after this and a word from your local Fox station.
If you've ever been fascinated by the dark side of human nature, we have someone you need to meet. Prophet premieres Monday, April 8th.
Boy, there's nothing like getting the family together for our traditional turkey tacos. Turkey dinner sausage, kebabs, breakfast with turkey sausage, turkey parmesan. Quick and easy, great tasting, versatile, it's today's meat. And you'll find it in your grocer's meat case. All kinds of turkey for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. The Turkey Store, it's today's meat.
As sure as the sun will rise across America, the families that travel will have one common need: to be safe. That's why so many American families put their trust in Buick LeSabre. In fact, they've made LeSabre the best-selling full-size car in America 4 years in a row. Buick LeSabre, the American family car.
You know, FedEx and the Dream Team have a lot in common. They're fast, we're fast. They've got moves, we've got a few moves of our own. We both spend a lot of time in the air. They get called for traveling, we travel when we're called. They're masters at gravity-defying slam and jam and foul line dunk. Well, okay, so they got us there. FedEx, proud sponsor of the USA Basketball Dream Team. Neat, huh?
Ah, spring. Optimism blooms and life's cares drift away. Time to start a new, exciting relationship, especially when the Honda Accord has so much to love. Its quality and reliability are so long-lasting, it'll be the object of your affection spring after spring. Right time, right car. Get 3.9% APR financing for up to 48 months on all 96 Accords.
A shocking new fad in ads on Deco Drive, Monday at 7:30 on 7.
The NHL on Fox is brought to you by Valvoline DuraBlend, the #1 selling semi-synthetic motor oil. By Microsoft, where do you want to go today? By Bud Ice, the official beer sponsor of the NHL. And by the new Dodge, we're thinking ahead.
Kenny Albert, Denis Potvin from the Nassau Coliseum. Rangers and Islanders tied at 1. Our scoring summary brought to you by Bud Ice. Sergei Nemchinov, the lone second period goal. Adam Graves, Bruce Driver assist at 10:02, his 16th goal of the year. And Denny, there is the new New York Islanders logo introduced at the start of this 95-96 season, and the old logo used the first 23 years.
Well, we'll call that first logo a temporary logo. Look at those banners. Aren't they pretty? Look at the logo right in the middle of those Stanley Cup banners. That's the way it should be.
And
oh, no. No.
What would they look like?
The nightmare has begun. Wake me up. Pinch me. Let it not happen. Now, it is just not the way it's supposed to be.
Number 5 retired, high atop the Nassau Coliseum. You know, Bobby Nystrom's number 23 looks a lot cleaner than yours.
Now, they have to probably wash Bobby's. He's still part of the organization, one of the few. Well, I tell you that about that logo, though, I think that what we may see The New York Islanders, if they get a chance to get the change approved, might just go back to the old logo. We understand that for certain games next year, the New York Islanders will be one of the teams that will have a third uniform, and on that third uniform there will be the New York Islander logo, the real one, as I should say.
The real one.
The real one.
And that will be to commemorate their 25th anniversary season next year. Do you think there's any chance they would ever go back? They would ever switch back to the original logo?
I think there's a real possibility that they'll go back. You know, you figure this is a young hockey team that is rebuilding under Mike Milbury. Why not bring back the tradition? After all, players are, I would imagine, young players, just like in the Montreal organization, want to be really, really proud of wearing the uniform that won the Cups.
And as those in the New York area know, the Islanders have taken a lot of flack from fans, from the media, from the national media, regarding the new jerseys and specifically the new logo. Verbeek and Armstrong have returned from the penalty boxes.
Well, that's my biggest beef. It's not the uniform. The uniform, you can change colors, update it if you want. Just don't take away the logo.
There's Messier in with the shot. It's blocked. Verbeek behind the net, throws out to the point. One of the problems, according to the new ownership group, was the NY on the old logo. The Islanders do not want to be associated with New York City, with Manhattan. They feel that's the Rangers' territory, so they wanted to eliminate the NY, and the Y, of course, in the shape of a hockey stick.
You are what you are. You're Long Island. You're in the state of New York. And the logo is emblematic of 6 divisional championships, 4 Stanley Cups, and really a long, long history of great hockey in Long Island.
Here's Kovalev in front, looks to set up Curry. Kovalev, beautiful pass. Curry walks in, shoots, and then Kovalev scores on the rebound. 2-1 Ranger lead. 20th goal of the season for Alexei Kovalev, and the Islanders' third period problems continue.
Well, certainly the Islanders don't have a history of a great third period this season. 102-50. They're outscoring third period hockey. But right now, Kovalev is doing what Nemchinov did a little earlier. He's just waiting for the right time, the right opportune moment. And watch this. He walks in just as the puck comes to him in the high slot. Nemchinov, Kovalev have really picked up their game of late in the last several games by the New York Rangers. It has been those two who have been taking the load of scoring for the New York Rangers. Alexei Kovalev.
Time of the goal, 125. In contrast to the Islanders, who have now been outscored by 53 third period goals, the Rangers now plus 26 in their third periods.
Kovalev, you know, he's a big third period goal scorer. He's got 5 game-winning goals. That ties him with Messier and Verbeek. Of course, if this goal were to stand, that would make it 6. He'd take the lead on the team. 6 game-winning goals. And Nemchinov strong in third period hockey. I'm sorry, Kovalev strong in third period hockey.
Kovalev's 20th from Curry and McSorley at 125. So the trade with the Kings starting to pay dividends. The 3 players who came over started slowly, but now Curry with a point in 3 straight games, and that's McSorley's first point as a New York Ranger.
Well, it's starting to pay dividends. It's hard, really, to have a trade work right away. It can go one of either way. The Florida Panthers get Greg Shepard and Martin Straka, and right away they score. Or you have a little more time as to be spent in gelling. As a matter of fact, Mark Messier said the more veterans, the quicker they'll gel. Well, in this particular instance, it took a few games. It didn't happen right away.
Sellout crowd at the Nassau Coliseum, 16,297. Islanders trailing the Rangers now 2-1. Now the centering feed for Curry. Kovalev there as well. Here's Curry in the slot, shoots, and Fischel makes the stop. Robitaille on the doorstep is met by the combination of Blunt and McCabe. Robitaille battling for the rebound following the save by Fischel.
Now Robitaille, as we said, has been struggling for goals this year. Maybe he's just a little overly desperate, but the play that he made will always get a reaction from the opposing defenseman. we get a chance to look at it, you'll see Robitaille with the puck really well ensconced in the chest and in the glove of Eric Fichaud. Robitaille still takes a whack at it. That's almost assuredly will get your reaction from the defenseman. Watch here. Now the puck was loose, so in Luc Robitaille's defense, we can see on the rebound the puck was loose, so he probably was in every right to do what he did. But of course, not seen by McCabe, and the reaction is very evident. New York Islanders want to battle as a pack.
And Robitaille and McCabe, excuse me, Danny, will both head to their respective penalty boxes, so we'll play 4 aside once again.
Well, that's probably a fair call by Trottier just to get the players, give them both minor penalties for that. You know, the New York Rangers have not really played to their strength so far in this game. There's just been too many penalties for the New York Rangers, and I go back to the discipline factor. Becomes very important in the playoffs. Right now, we're looking at a Ranger team that seems to me to be very edgy. I talked to Kevin Lowe between the second and third period, asked him a little bit about Messier and the teammates, and the word Kevin used was they're a little owly. And in particular, Messier, the team is not playing well. The team is a little edgy. You're now edging towards the playoffs. You want to be at the best right now. 7 games, or after tonight, 8 games left for the New York Rangers. And you can see there's a little anxiety in the Ranger uniform.
What was the word Kevin Lowe used?
Owly.
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 Is that a
that's
Albertan phrase?
That's a hockey term. That's a hockey term right there.
Hockey
owly.
Owly. How would you spell that?
I guess it would be O-W-L-I-L-Y.
Owly. Here's Travis Green, looks to set up Palfi.
Owly.
Brian Leach skates it out.
Do we have to analyze it?
Owly.
Owly.
Hockey term.
I guess owly, hockey term. Little owly. The Rangers are like that. You know, their strength, 5-on-5, they are like in the plus 50 category, 5-on-5, the New York Rangers. So it would be to their strength. They're at the top of the league when they play even strength. So when they have to kill off penalties, they're not giving themselves the chance that they would rather have.
The Islanders have iced the puck. Back in a moment with the Rangers up 2-1.
We took the most comfortable full-size pickup on the road and made it more comfortable. We took the most thoughtful interior on the market and made it more thoughtful. We took the biggest cab in the industry and made it bigger. The Dodge Ram Club Cab. First, we changed the rules. Then we stretched them. At America's truck stop, the new Dodge.
Who's next? Mark Messier looks on. The Islanders will be without defenseman Kenny Janssen for the remainder of the game. Our Pizza Hut replay. This penalty back in the second period. Messier for elbowing Janssen, who suffered a mild concussion. Eighth concussion, Denny, suffered by the Islanders this season.
It's just unbelievable. It's got to be the worst streak of bad luck for the New York Islanders. We've got a young talent in Brett Lindros, who right now, because of concussion problems, is at home having to make a decision about his career.
Dennis Vasky will not play again this year. Ken Belanger is out. So 8 concussions this season. 4 players currently suffering from concussions, including Kenny Janssen. Now, the Islanders did dress 7 defensemen today, but we have not yet seen Jason Strudwick, who's on the Islander bench, made his NHL debut yesterday in Hartford. Bertuzzi into the Rangers zone. Got the shot away with Lidster leaning all over him. Here's Kasparaitis taking the pass from McGinnis. Kasparaitis sends in deep. Bertuzzi and Driver come together.
How big Bertuzzi, and add him to the concussion list. He got a concussion this year as well as Palfi. The bad break of all, Belanger, who was acquired in the trade, got his in practice. I'd say it's not funny, but the fact is, this streak of bad luck is incredible.
Here's Nicholas Anderson down the right wing. Rebound comes around to Kasparaitis. Darby Hendrickson fanned on the attempted pass in front. And Robitaille taps it out. So the penalties have expired on Robitaille and McCabe. Back at 5-on-5 hockey here with 4.5 gone by in the third period. Rangers have taken the 2-1 lead on Alexei Kovalev's 20th goal this season. Islanders led in the first on the McInnes goal. Nemchinov tied it in the second. And Kovalev, who holds the puck now behind the Ranger goal, with the go-ahead goal at 1:25 of the third. Kovalev across the Islander line. Carves around to Ulf Samuelsson. And now McCabe starts back the other way. Flips it up into the crowd. Ulf Samuelsson, in an earlier meeting with the Islanders, caught a stick up high on Todd Bertuzzi, and then following the game accused Mike Milbury of spitting at him. And that caused some barbs back and forth between Milbury, Colin Campbell, Ulf Samuelsson as well. And Samuelsson and Milbury go way back to the Boston-Hartford rivalry when Samuelsson nearly ended the career of Cam Neely while Milbury was still in Boston.
You know, Milbury would probably benefit most from the return of the logo, the real Islander logo, because he wants a rivalry. The first thing that Milbury said when he came into the New York area is screw the New York Rangers and screw the New Jersey Devils. And basically what he wants to do is create a rivalry, because in this tri-state area, the New York Islanders don't have to win a Stanley Cup right away to be #1. All they have to do is be better than the Rangers. That's not an easy task, but that'll bring back the rivalry and bring back the tradition.
Now, can we file Milbury's comments in the hockey dictionary with Owley?
I think his use of words is a little more common even outside the hockey dressing room. Owley. It's a great one. Well, next time you interview Kevin Lowe, you're going to have to...
Here's Sundstrom's shot, blockered out.
I have to ask him about the exact meaning of Owley. Heard it a lot, though. Never thought of asking what exactly it means. You just take it for granted.
Now, getting back to the Islander logo, are your feelings shared by some of the other Islander alumni you've spoken to this year?
Well, you know, there's a lot of people just don't want to deal with it. But, you know, I look around the arena here and say the old logo is in here outnumbering the new one at least 10-1.
Now Kasparaitis deep in his own end. We have 3 jerseys predominant in the stands. The old Islander logo, the new Islander logo, and the many Ranger jerseys as well. Sellout crowd on Long Island as the Islanders send down. Icing waved off. Bookable fires off the boards. Here's the chance with 13:21 to go. Matt Conacher sends out to Kasparaitis. Kasparaitis from a tough angle, stopped by Richter. And Pat Verbeek skates to center. The chance to Jared Dooling. And Dooling will shoot in. Heads for the bench as the Islanders make a line change.
A little more play at center ice now. The checking a little more intense by the Rangers.
Here's Palffy using his speed. Comes in front. The puck was behind Richter. And then he fell on top. Big save by Mike Richter on 39 goal scorer Zygmunt Palffy.
Right and right and right. You're too old to own a computer.
Yep,
Right and right every Saturday.
I know.
You should let your students do that. Come to the market with me.
No, I gotta work.
Can France and Italy
Austria and England, Germany, Spain, and the Netherlands ever really agree on a single currency? Actually, they already have. Gold MasterCard, one remarkably useful card, accepted virtually anywhere on Earth.
Helmets, they've got. Pads, they've got. Real protection, they've got. Including this Speed Stick, the only one tough enough for this league. Official deodorant sponsor of the NHL.
5 men.
Darling!
Back so soon?
Hey, talking about a third-period player. Zygmunt Palffy, 6 game-winning goals, and here trying to get the tying goal in the third period. Rangers leading 2-1. Palffy almost sneaking one through the pads of Richter.
And then who was there just an instant late for the rebound? Marty McGinnis, who's played a strong game here today, scored the Islanders' only goal so far. And remember, they've been held to just 1 goal in 3 straight and 5 of their last 7. 20 times this year in 74 games, the Islanders have either been shut out or held to just 1 goal as Momesso shoots wide. That's more than 1/4 of their games. They've scored only 1 goal or have been shut out. In fact, 6 times, Palffy has scored the Islanders' only goal. Now the centering pass to Nemchinov, walks in and scores. The puck crossed the line. It's deflected in off.
I believe Longo.
Longo, the Islander defenseman. It's Nemchinov's 2nd goal of the game. 3-1 Rangers.
Well, you know, you look at the stats and you try and figure out why the Islanders in the third period outscored 102 to 50. Well, the intensity is not quite what it was certainly in the game. And you see right there the puck going off. And we'll watch to the right side of your screen. We'll get a chance. We'll stop it. And I'll show you where the puck. Now, it'll be right in this area here as Nemchinov moves in. You stop it right there, and you see where the puck goes off the skate of Luongo, and it follows, it goes into the net. Again, Nemchinov, his 2nd goal of the game, and a big one for the New York Rangers, distancing themselves from the Islanders in the third.
Sergei Nemchinov scored 2 goals against Pittsburgh on Sunday night. The Rangers only 2 goals in their 8-2 loss. 2 more here today, so 4 goals in his last 3 games.
Nemchinov and Kovalev have been playing really strong hockey. 2 guys have maybe been underachievers so far this year. Nemchinov in particular, his first year with the New York Rangers, 30 goals. And then it's been sort of a decline, 23, 22, and last year in a shortened season, 47 games he played, only 7 goals. So for Nemchinov, starting to light up the red light is a big plus for the Rangers.
Nemchinov 17th from Momesso and Berg at 8:03. So the Rangers lead is now 3-1. They've scored 3 unanswered goals. They're now out shooting the Islanders 26-15. Here's Samuelson's shot. Pichot got a piece of it. Kept alive by Curry. Curry spins it in deep. At the conclusion of today's game, Denny and I will select the new Dodge player of the game. Just over 11 minutes to go as Palffy fires in. Islanders came out flying, scored in the opening moments, and they controlled much of the play over the first 10 minutes, but the Rangers have taken over since. And now we hear some derisive chants from the Ranger fans of "We want fish sticks." Many people have referred to the Islanders logo as resembling a fish stick company. And we hear the first fish stick chant of the afternoon. In fact, the last time these teams met when the Islanders ended the Rangers' home streak, Rangers coach Colin Campbell came into his post-game press conference, and the first words out of his mouth, fish sticks. Messier drops it off away from Graves. Patrick Flatley across the Ranger line. Cut off by Leach. Ten minutes to play as the Islanders flip in, trailing the Rangers 3-1.
Well, we talked early in the broadcast about the fact that the Rangers had not played for a while. Maybe they would be a little slow off the mark, and the game has gone almost exactly as we'd figured. The Islanders came out storming, trying to take advantage of a team in the Rangers who has not played a lot of hockey in the last few weeks. And then, as any older team, you'd rather play hockey than practice.
And this is the start of a stretch for the Rangers in which they will play 6 games in 9 days. And their last 9 games over a 15-day stretch.
And in this game, the Rangers have progressively gotten better, more disciplined, and just stronger. Of course, with the help of Nemchinov and Kovalev, taking advantage of Islander mistakes in front of the goal. The Islanders now seem to have lost a lot of the steam they brought into the game.
Into the Rangers zone, Armstrong. Blockered out by Richter. Palffy in the slot. Shane Turler spins it ahead to Marty McSorley. Under 9 minutes to go. Long goes pass deflected. This is Darren Langdon.
With a line we haven't seen in quite a while.
Langdon with Turler and Nicholas Sundstrom. Look to kill off some time. Keep the puck in the Islander zone. Now Sundstrom works it free. Samuelson slowly to the near corner. Langdon and Turler double team Travis Green.
Now this line with the Rangers doing a good job of keeping the Islanders hemmed in.
Sundstrom backhands down. Rangers get 2 of their forwards off without the Islanders clearing the puck out of the zone. Rangers have made 2/3 of a line change here while keeping the puck in deep. Langdon the only one remaining. Joined by Curry and Kovalev. Finally, the Islanders clear out.
And one of the big reasons, Samuelson able to keep the puck in several times, pinching in on the Islanders just inside the Islander blue line.
Kovalev throws behind the net. Robitaille shouldered by LeChance. Curry over as well. Kovalev to Curry. Yari Curry drops it off. Bookavoom shot deflects wide. Now Leach with the drive, kicked out by Fischel.
Well, that was a hard shot. You could hear the thud on the pad from up here. Brian Leach, the one-timer off the boards.
7:11 remaining in the third period. Nicholas Anderson across the Ranger line. Broken up by Graves. Brent Severin plays it ahead. Deflects to Messier. Nice pass to Graves on the left wing. And Fischel pounces on it. 6:46 to play. 3-1 Ranger lead over the Islanders.
Talladega is a technical track. To win there, you got to understand the draft and be able to use it to your advantage. Knowing when to make your move, where to make your move. It's just an all-day drafting chess game. High bank, flat out running, 30-car drafts. You're hooked up in a 200-mile-an-hour freight train, and you can race 500 miles and just win by inches.
Busch Beer is proud to bring you the great tracks of NASCAR, now featuring the Talladega Superspeedway.
That's Talladega. You just run flat out all day long.
Announcing the biggest taste hit in pizza history, the new triple-decker pizza from Pizza Hut, with our 6-cheese blend hidden deep inside 2 thin crusts. Wow, what a pizza! Only $9.99. You'll love the stuff we're made of.
Inside your engine, the dividing line between protection and destruction is a thin film of oil, which is why car makers have established strict standards for motor oil performance. Quaker State exceeds the highest standards for protection against thermal breakdown, volatility burn-off, corrosion. Quaker State. What's the state of your motor oil? Quaker State exceeds the highest standards for engine protection.
Associates,
Kenny Albert, Denis Potvin with the Rangers leading the Islanders 3-1. This telecast is presented by authority of the National Hockey League. It is intended for the private use of our audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this telecast, including the imposition of a charge for viewing the telecast without the express written consent of the National Hockey League, is prohibited. Detroit all over St. Louis, 6-1. 2 goals for Sergei Fedorov. Philadelphia on a John LeClair hat trick, 3-1 advantage as they look to stay 1 point ahead of the Rangers.
What is that, 47 goals now for John LeClair? Or has he turned into some kind of a hockey player? John LeClair really played 15 goals or so as the kind of player he was in Montreal, and ever since the emergence in Philadelphia, outstanding goal scorer.
You know, we've spoken so much during the course of the afternoon about this rivalry. How about Game 2, 1979 semifinals? Rangers, Islanders here at the Nassau Coliseum in overtime.
Take us back.
Who's that goaltender? John Davidson.
JD having trouble with the shot. The reason being is that when I shot the puck, it went off Carol Vadnais, the defenseman, who had gone down to try and block it. He redirected the puck, and it handcuffed JD. But sadly, that series was not won by the Islanders.
Yes, the Rangers would go on to win the series 4-2. They lost to Montreal in the finals, but the Islanders would win the next 4 Stanley Cups.
Yep.
Boston over Buffalo 4-3. Adam Oates.
That was the
for the pair.
Ooh La La Sassoon crowd, right? The Rangers in 1979. Phil Esposito and Ron Duguay, Greshner. Matter of fact, Brian Leach just broke Ron Greshner's assist streak for all-time defenseman assist scoring in the Ranger franchise.
In fact, during the Islanders' first Stanley Cup season of 1980, Pat Conacher would make his NHL debut with the Rangers. Here he is 16 years later with the Islanders. Rangers 8 games remaining. 2 with Philadelphia, 2 against New Jersey, 2 against Florida.
Well, not an easy schedule for the New York Rangers, and we had talked about that earlier, but you can look at that 2 ways. And if you're in the position of the New York Rangers, you're trying to get together, you're trying to get your team to gel, get the character together. You want to have them tested before you go into the playoffs. And for Coley Campbell, this stretch is probably welcome. You want to play more hockey, you want to play tough competition, and he's going to get that. You can see New Jersey twice, Philly twice, back-to-back, home-to-home. The Rangers will get all the tests they need before going into the playoffs. And if they come out of it well, it may bode very well for them in the playoffs.
And everybody in the Eastern Conference still up in the air as far as first-round possibilities, with all the teams bunched up. Top 3 and then the next 6 battling for the 5 playoff spots. Here's McSorley, and now in the far corner, Brent Severin and Darren Langdon have words.
Now, Brent Severin, one of the guys that Mike Milbury says he gives it up. Oh, Bertuzzi getting involved. Now, Bertuzzi has not had a major yet this year, but
now he was chatting with Samuelson. Remember earlier this year, Samuelson high-sticked Bertuzzi.
Oh, look at the strength of Bertuzzi. Well, I thought we were going to see who that was. Now, I think is that Langdon still involved with Bertuzzi? No, it's not. That must be. Well, obviously.
That's Shane Churla.
Shane Churla. Well, I tell you, that equipment came off pretty fast. Say Shane Churla's.
It all started with Severin and Langdon, and then Bertuzzi came in on Samuelson. Churla stepped in front, and the shirtless Ranger is Shane Churla.
Yep.
Langdon complaining about a cross-check from Severin.
Now, with just over 5 minutes left in the game, we'll see how Trache handles this. Referee Trache right now doing the work of the linesman, trying to get in between Shane Churla and the young Bertuzzi. You know, Shane Churla was interesting. He was so well-liked in Dallas He became the team captain. He was a civic leader, very involved in the community. See Bertuzzi now really mad. Bertuzzi has not had a major all season long, but he is mad now.
Letting out his frustrations.
Yeah. So Shane Churla got traded. Now, when Ken Hitchcock came over, took over the Dallas Stars, the popular Shane Churla, the captain of the Stars, was not being used a lot. Oh, boy, look at this. Bertuzzi really upset.
Being held off by the linesman, Jean Morin. Bertuzzi wants more. Now going after Samuelson. I'll be shocked if Bertuzzi is not ejected after this display.
Well, just to finish up on Shane Churla, Ken Hitchcock decided that it was expendable because Shane Churla took too many reaction-type penalties rather than action-type penalties, and therefore made him expendable. Went to the Los Angeles Kings and came here along with that man, Marty McSorley, who has made this team a much bigger, much more physical New York Ranger hockey club. Now, this certainly looks like old-time hockey.
10 sticks, 20 gloves, 1 jersey on the ice.
This isn't about why your business has to communicate better or when the time is ripe to put all the new technology to work. We're past that stage. This is about putting laptops on desks and pages in pockets. It's about email and the internet. It's about a person who puts it all together and a company that can give you the hardware and software you need. This isn't about blue sky or sci-fi or by the by. This is about now, about how. Network MCI, that's how.
Kenny Albert, Denis Potvin with the Rangers leading the Islanders by the score of 3-1. Let's head out to Hollywood for an NHL update with James Brown.
Kenny, it's Detroit and St. Louis, and let me tell you, it's all detroit indeed. Take a look at the puck being turned over. Doug Brown ahead to a rocketing Sergei Fedorov. He undresses John Casey. That made it 5-1. It is now 7-1 Detroit. Back to Kenny Albert, Denis Potvin.
The Red Wings continue to roll. 7-1 lead. Mike Milbury and the Islanders with 5 minutes, 10 seconds to go, trailing the Rangers 3-1. Referee Richard Trottier sorting things out. The original combatants, here they are, Brent Severin and Darren Langdon. Severin was without his stick, and he shoved Langdon to the boards. And now Bertuzzi pointing towards the Ranger bench as he leaves the ice. Todd Bertuzzi, as we mentioned moments ago, should be the case, is ejected from the game. And as he skated off, he pointed towards Colin Campbell on the Ranger bench, who I'm sure at this point have more important things to worry about than Todd Bertuzzi.
Well, I'm sure that the New York Rangers, as you say, are thinking more about the 2-goal lead they've got with 5 minutes left and the fact that now they've won 2 games in a row, and maybe Colin Campbell is much happier with the effort of his New York Rangers today than he has been in the past few weeks. Mike Milbury.
Shane Churla will exit as well.
Mike Milbury watching Shane Churla go off the ice.
How about that reaction from Colin Campbell? Churla gets the instigator. Langdon and Severin, 2 apiece for roughing. And then Churla, 2 for instigating, 5 for fighting, and a 10-minute misconduct. Game misconduct, that is.
Boy, the linesman.
5 for fighting plus a game misconduct on Bertuzzi.
Now the linesman who took the shot. The errant shot by Churla hit Jean Morin in the mouth, but he seems fine. Big guy himself, Jean Morin. Kevin Collins over talking with Colin Campbell.
Well, this game is
the Rangers will be on the short side of this.
Yeah, so this game is by no means over. 2-goal Ranger lead.
Right.
Islanders to the power play with 5:10 remaining.
Now, Samuelson, is he being sent off as well? He's gotten over to the door. leading to the Ranger dressing room, but he's back now.
So recapping the penalties once again, Langdon and Severin, 2 apiece for roughing. They wash each other out. Churla, 2 for instigating, 5 for fighting and a game misconduct. Bertuzzi, 5 for fighting and a game misconduct. Time of the penalties, 14:50. And Colin Campbell not very happy with the instigation minor called on Churla.
Well, you know, he's probably, and probably rightly so. Brent Severin seemed to throw a couple of punches at Darren Langdon, and probably from Colin Campbell's perspective, that was pretty much instigating at that point.
And it was Bertuzzi involved with Samuelson originally, then Churla came in. So the Islanders go to their 5th man advantage this afternoon. They trail 3-1. Here's McGinnis across the Ranger line. Travis Green. Here's McCabe moving in. McCabe's shot deflected, and Richter holds on with Flatley on the doorstep.
Well, now you can empathize with Colin Campbell. I mean, if that puck goes in, all of a sudden it's a 3-2 hockey game, and you got lots of time to play. 4:47 left in the 3rd period, and a good opportunity. Brian McCabe doing a good job there, waiting for Boom to go by, then gets the puck on goal. You got Flatley right in front of the net. You got Travis Green coming in. But Richter, who's making his first appearance this year against the New York Islanders, does a good job of stopping the play.
Messier will face off with Travis Green. Green centering Palffy and Flatley with McGinnis and McCabe on the point. So the Islanders going with 4 forwards and the 1 defenseman. Remember, they've lost Kenny Janssen, who would normally be out in a power play situation. Mild concussion. McGinnis shoots. Deflected wide. Here's Green. Into the slot, McCabe. Stolen by Messier. And McCabe cuts down the angle.
A good recovery by McCabe. Looking to make the pass across to Travis Green, the other point man. And the cat-like reflexes of number 11. Intercepted the pass.
Flatley held off by Samuelson. 4 minutes to go. Rangers 3, Islanders 1. Scott LeChance just off the bench. Palffy curls it across to LeChance. Now McGinnis. Green to Palffy, stuffed by Sundstrom. 30 seconds on the power play. Here's LeChance moving in. Now the shot was blocked. Rolls to center with 3.5 to go.
Well, the Islanders coming back to life, getting a chance. Opportunities on goal. Have had a good power play so far.
McGinnis shot, it's blocked and deflects out of play with just 9 seconds remaining on the Islanders power play.
Now, as we look at McGinnis, one of the real workers in today's hockey games, we said he leads the Islanders in scoring against the New York Rangers. Now the use of Pat Flatley, the captain, in front of the net. Flatley trying to get position. You see the little slew foot attempt by Ulf Samuelsson. Didn't work. Flatley, big, strong, and will keep his feet pretty much in front of the net. You see the battle going on. Flatley, the elder statesman. 1984, Pat Flatley was drafted. He often says, I wish I would have come a year earlier. In '84, we lost. New York Islanders lost the attempt for 5 to Edmonton. That's the year Flatley joined the Islanders.
Along with Pat LaFontaine, both fresh out of the Olympics. LeChance with the shot. It's blocked. Penalty has expired as the Rangers clear down ice. Under 3 minutes to play. Curry and Anderson came together. Curry slow to get up. Now Kovalev clears it ahead on the left wing to Curry. Robitaille, met by Kasparaitis. Lidster from the right point. It rolled through, then wide. 2.5 to go. Puck pinned behind the Islander net. And play is blown dead. 3-1, Rangers lead. Final moments from the Nassau Coliseum.
Do it! No! Do it! Never! Dooby-dooby-doo. Doo-dooby.
Drink Bud Ice, but beware the penguins.
Recently, Car and Driver magazine rated Dodge Intrepid over the new Ford Taurus. They described Intrepid as poised, agile, and athletic. They said it was born to run. They went on about its vast interior, calling Intrepid outstanding, and concluded it's a lot of car for the money. Car and Driver just can't say enough about Intrepid, but we like it when they try. Intrepid, this changes everything.
See why it's TV's longest-running comedy.
Who might you be? Well, I might be Brad Pitt, but as you can see by the chick on my arm, I'm not.
Married with Children, tonight at 9, 8 Central.
Kenny Albert, Denis Potvin from Nassau Coliseum. Sergei Nemchinov with a pair of goals for the New York Rangers. One here in the third period as they lead the Islanders 3-1, 2:24 to go.
And with the power play opportunity gone by, the New York Islanders really had a good opportunity to get back on track. They're making all of Colin Campbell's fears come true when that happened.
Nemchinov and Travis Green on the faceoff. Islanders come to center quickly. Flatley shooting in right side of Richter. Palffy held off by Lidster. McInnes in to help. McCabe keeps it on the left point as we approach 2 minutes remaining. Flatley in front, and Richter makes the stop on McInnes. Strong afternoon for Mike Richter as McInnes scored early, but he has kept the Islanders away ever since.
Well, McInnes, number one, gets himself in good position. Nice work by Flatley, but watch how Richter covers that crease. Boy, just a one push off the right leg, and he gets himself over about 4 feet just to face the shot by McInnes.
Then tonight on Fox, Miracles and Visions, followed by The Simpsons. After The Simpsons, it's The Show, then Married with Children, and Local Heroes. That's all tonight on Fox.
Well, we get a little change of goaltending situation by Mike Milbury. Soderstrom is getting ready to come in the net. Fischel is coming out. 1:53 remaining in the hockey game. Now, there's obviously a situation here where Milbury is most likely thinking about getting a little time off for his players. Soderstrom is really taking his time. Now, you know, Milbury used the timeout, the only timeout he had in the middle of the second period. So this ploy is to gain some time for his team. And this is a lot better than a 30-second timeout. Milbury making full use of the time it takes to change goaltenders. So
unlike past years, Denny, the team has not allowed practice shots, which would have given them some more time. So Tommy Soderstrom, who defeated the Rangers back in February, now in the Islander net. And it's a 2-on-1 for the Rangers. Messier shoots and scores. It backfires on the Islanders. Tommy Soderstrom comes in cold and allows a goal just 14 seconds later.
You know, you got to take risks in the business of coaching. And Mike Milbury took a calculated risk, thinking that maybe he can rest his troops, maybe get a goal, pull the goaltender, and try and win the hockey game. It has backfired badly. But what a pass by Marty McSorley coming out of the zone. That's a big league pass to Mark Messier, and Messier is more than aware that he's no longer looking at Fischel. That's a great pass coming out of the zone by Marty McSorley, and Messier is going 5-hole all the way. He's just waiting for his time as he glides to his right. Soderstrom's got to open up the legs, and there goes the goal.
46th of the season for Mark Messier. It's now a 4-1 Ranger lead. The Islanders have now been outscored, Denny, in the third period. 16-2 during these last 9 games. Messier looking for more. McSorley, the lone assist. His second point today. And with that goal, Mark Messier has tied Stan Mikita for 5th place on the NHL's all-time points list with 1,467.
Stan Mikita did it 21 years in the National Hockey League. Gotta feel bad for Soderstrom. He's back on the bench now. Fisherman's back in goal.
Soderstrom played 10 seconds.
Oh, boy. What does that do to your average?
1 shot, 1 goal. Does not even need a shower. Luongo tripped up by Momesso. 35 seconds to go. The Rangers will make it 5 out of 6 over the New York Islanders this season. Now Richter gloves it aside. Islanders will suffer their 9th consecutive loss. They've scored only 12 goals in those 9 games. Their 4th consecutive game held to 1 goal. The Rangers, meanwhile, will make it 2 consecutive victories and 3 of their last 4 as they have defeated the New York Islanders by the score of 4-1. Islanders struck early. Rangers come back 2 by Nemchinov. Kovalev's 20th, Messier's 46th. Mike Milbury will miss the Islanders' next 2 games, heading to Sweden on a scouting mission. They will host Philadelphia on Tuesday as they try to break their 9-game losing streak. Islanders have not won since March 9th. Our new Dodge player of the game this afternoon, Sergei Nemchinov. 2 goals, now 4 his last 3 games. Dodge is proud to donate $1,000 in Sergei Nemchinov's name to the Amateur Hockey Association of his choice. Back from the Nassau Coliseum in just a moment. Rangers over the Islanders 4-1.
New triple-decker pizza from Pizza Hut. 6 cheeses, 2 crusts, and 1 hellacious taste.
Extreme heat. It can cause chemical changes in motor oil that can destroy your car's engine. Fortunately, there's Quaker State motor oil, proven to exceed the highest standards car makers have established for protection against the destructive effects of heat. Quaker State. What's the state of your motor oil when the heat is on? Quaker State exceeds the highest standards for engine protection.
FedEx has over 33,000 drop-off spots to take your 2-day package. Cost about $12.
UPS has over 75,000 drop-off spots for your 2-day package. Cost about $6.
The U.S. Postal Service has over 330,000 drop-off spots for your Priority Mail 2 to 3 day package. Cost exactly $3.
So, 12, 6, 3, what's your priority? Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service.
Most days, this is where you'll find Dodge engineers, turning ideas into trucks that break rules, minivans that set standards, and cars that change everything. But while working in here makes them great engineers, it's playing out here that makes them Dodge engineers. The new Dodge.
After 1/2 of football, San Francisco leads New York 540 to 310.
In the future, it won't be just how hard you play, but how good your sports drink works.
Please make your selection.
With a third more carbs than Gatorade and B vitamins to unlock carbohydrate energy. All Sport is not just a thirst quencher. It's a body quencher.
Is it that new 300-pound ball?
Yeah, here you go.
This season of sweaty, gritty, crushing engagements is brought to you in part by Speed Stick, the only one tough enough for this league. Official deodorant sponsor of the NHL.
The Fox Track truck ignites as the Red Wings face the Blackhawks, or the Rangers take on the Devils. Next Sunday, 3 Eastern, 12 Pacific on Fox.